could literally have all the money in the world, but you can't have all the time in the world. You just got to be better than yourself from yesterday, 1% better every single day.
This is just proper preparation to prevent that poor performance of you not wanting to cook and then making the easy choice of being like, oh, it's fine, I'll just order food out, right? You won't be as sad when you're working out in the gym. You will be more confident when continue going to the gym because now you've built this habit.
I didn't want my children to feel like they needed to look at somebody else to learn the right example, because that's the right example. If you're going to be raising a family, you need to be strong. You need to be fit. Forget about being in shape, about six packs. That's not the most important thing. It's just about being strong.
Capable. You're about to pass on any and all good or bad genetic traits that you might have picked up to where your parents already gave you.
So, hey guys, what's happening? Today it's not just me and Andrew for the podcast. It's also my good friend Sheeler, who's going to be over here for you guys. He is a fitness influencer. He's a really good fitness coach. He's been training for quite a while, training a lot of different kind of clients. I think he's going to be a great guest for a nice health podcast. So we could talk about working out, why it's so important for men. But yeah, anyways, what's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
What's up? What's up?
Chilling, work, business, life.
That's it.
Good to see you, Sheeler. I haven't seen you sometime, you know?
Yeah, it's been a while. My two good brothers, literally we took a trip to Miami, but it was a normal trip. Not what we see on social media.
Yeah,
we're all wholesome married men.
Exactly.
Dinner, you know.
Right.
Riding the jet skis.
Right. The normal stuff. Right.
Watching grass grow, you know.
Right.
I feel you.
We only got high off life.
Oh, that's good.
Word. Yeah, seriously. We worked out at Miami Beach. That was pretty cool. I know our Instagram has a couple of videos of the
we
stuff
should
that we
definitely
did there.
use that as like a template for here. Like we all were there. Definitely use that in one of the videos.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
You know, so
you can check the stats of the page, but I think that is one of our best videos. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It did really well.
Yeah, I think it had like 3,000 plus views or something like that. It was actually pretty dope.
Yeah,
it is pretty dope.
Yeah.
So
shout out to the cameraman. Email. He did his thing.
Oh yeah.
What happened? Oh yeah.
Shout out to E, the cameraman. He was getting all the shots.
He's the man. This because my boys it's on top of it. So tell us, Sheeler. I know that you actually out of all people are like the one who is actually like this is your career that has to do with fitness and everything like that. Me, I'm more of a enthusiast. So you have more of the actual background on teaching people about fitness and getting their life right with that. So tell us like what actually made you want to do that, because there's a lot of people who want to do it, but there's not many people who actually do it, actually have a career, actually are successful full time with helping clients, succeed in whatever area. So tell us about it, like what got you into that?
So for me, I'd say it definitely originated from college. A lot of people go not knowing the trajectory that they want to face in life and stuff like that. So I always tell people, in my opinion, that college is probably one of the best places for networking, connecting. Not necessarily for me, and again, in my opinion, for making you excel, going big, far, and wide. It's the knowing who and doing what, not having what. A lot of people literally leave school having medical field papers and tech field papers, but yet no offense, but they work at stuff like 9-to-5 jobs like Walmart or Target. You gotta get it. You gotta get how you gotta get it. But yeah, actually, a career that brings you right into the work field is essential. And one of those was fitness, health and wellness. So I have a background in sports and analytics. So I kind of just brought those two worlds together, and it birthed me getting my exercise science degree, and it's just been going from there. Like my good friend E said, it definitely took some time. So I have about 8 years of experience under my belt, and it's not necessarily of working out for myself. It's knowing how to work with others. That's really the biggest thing about it, because anybody could work out. Look how fit you are. Like anybody could work out, but being able to give that to someone else and learning them to 110% and then helping them reach their goals for whatever markers they set is was a true inspiration for me. So it was really fun. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but it was definitely fun.
Yeah, because I see your page all the time. You're like coaching somebody, you got a bunch of
Yeah,
clients and everything like that, and that's good. Because I know a lot of people really try to do this field and they never take off. They end up being like a guy who works at a gym and like maybe has a client or two. And that's not where anybody wants to be doing this long term. So
yeah.
it's good to see that. And I mean, what about you, Emil? What has you fit? I mean, yeah, I know you're more on the like, the slimmer side, but you're still super fit, So, we all have different build. When I really think about it, I think we're all three different fits here. I think
Yeah.
endomorph, ectomorph, and mesomorph. I think we're
Yeah,
literally all three,
yeah. I
right? I
I
mean,
think so actually. Yeah. Um,
that's actually so funny. I didn't think about that.
I
I was
love
like,
yeah.
it.
I am the light
Don't
class.
sleep on E. He could do some tricks with a kettlebell. I've seen him do some magic.
I'm done. Yeah. No, I love my kettlebell. But it's so funny. I'm like the light class in the video game. When you're choosing
Yep,
characters, I'm the
yep,
light class.
uh,
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it has been a struggle, but I know Sheila, you were saying before, like for me, it's been a struggle to just gain weight, gain that muscle
yeah,
weight. Um,
yeah,
because like I would say I'm pretty strong, nothing crazy or anything like that, but I have a very physical job. I'm always climbing. I'm always doing something. Carrying
you
giant
probably
rope
burn like
boxes.
2,000 calories a day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, at
This
the
man's
very
Spider-Man
least.
for a living. He has to.
Half the time, yeah, like climbing out of windows and stuff. And
Yeah,
if for the people who don't know, like I do window cleaning in New York City, so we do all kinds of different windows. We do all sorts of kind of jobs. So there's a lot of physical labor involved. So my excuse for the summer has been that, where I'm not consistent with the gym. I probably go like once a week at the most. Sometimes I skip just because I'm tired or whatever it is. But like building up to this podcast, I realized that these are just excuses. These are lies I'm telling myself essentially. Um, or I'm trying to just escape the hard the hard times that's gonna come in that first session when I'm gonna start building up all over again to being consistent, and that's going to be really hard, and I know that. I think that's what's tricking me, but otherwise, I love fitness. I used to do parkour, so I had a lot of fun doing that.
I
Um,
never knew that. That's
yeah,
dope,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. And for people who
You know,
don't know what parkour is, it's basically like gymnastics of getting from point A to point B, right? You'll climb over a fence, jump over whatever. Um, you know, some people are crazy enough to jump between rooftops. I wasn't trying to do all that. I have a good preservation mindset. I'm trying to live long.
want to live.
Yeah,
I've been
exactly.
hearing too many stories about the stuff like that. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely. It's super dangerous. So didn't do any of that kind of stuff, but it was a fun time. Looking forward
yeah.
to getting back into it. But I definitely want to get back in the gym, and I think you're the perfect person to ask. Um, for one, for my health, but also for like just longevity in general. Because like I know for sure, like when you get older, you get more frail. You're falling apart, right? Like risk of falling, things like balance. These are all things that are super important. Um, so I guess besides all that, like why should somebody get into the gym, right? Why should somebody start taking care of their health? I know it's super simple, but what's your like I guess what's your way to push somebody to like really lock in and get back in the gym, Sheeler?
So I love when people ask that question because I have a range like Andrew noticed, and I appreciate you guys that you guys are actually like watching and supporting and stuff like that. I have a range from a client that is 77, and I have a range of someone that is 21 that is about to be a dad and just got newly married and everything like that. So a wide scale, a wide scale. The main purpose of I don't even like to use the term fitness necessarily, but health and wellness is longevity. You could literally have all the money in the world, but you can't have all the time in the world. you really don't know when your time is due. Only God knows. If anybody is religious, only God knows. So why not make your best effort to make it known that you're doing everything that you can to live as long and healthy as you can. God forbid, again, God forbid, putting this on anybody. You get into an accident tomorrow, something as simple as falling down, or something as major as getting into a car accident. I've seen literally beautiful stories of, if it wasn't for my fitness habits and my health lifestyle, I would have never survived this car crash.
Mm.
Or again, on the elderly side, if it wasn't for me doing functional training, weight training, or just PT, it doesn't even have to be personal training, PT, this fall tumble would have landed me in the ER. So, and those are people that literally aren't necessarily nine to fivers. No, they could be millionaires to people that are potentially just going with the flow of life. Your health and wellness matters so much. It's your body's natural armor that just gives you a better chance at life for literally any instance, any situations that might come your way. Because like E said, I love that you said that you got to pick your hard. And there's like a post that I love posting, the difficulties of going through soreness, making sure you meet those protein goals every day and counting your steps, or the difficulties of managing all your medicine, drugs, and just like it's a lot. Having to make sure that your insurance is up to date, making sure that your cane has the proper screws and bolts. You gotta just pick your heart. So it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And you don't have to be a musclehead. You don't have to be any three of the archetypes here. You just got to be better than yourself from yesterday, 1% better every single day. That's all I try to tell people to do. And start slow. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I love how visual that example is of like picking your heart. That is super visual because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
imagining the old man
yeah.
just fiddling with the pills and the walker and
I'm
everything.
telling you,
Yeah,
that's it. Or him getting up the next day, ooh, I'm sore, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, but guess what? It's about to blow over after a day or two, and I'm gonna get right back to it. Instead of, oh, I might need your help to get the walker, get the cane. I'm not knocking anybody that has it. If it's unfortunately for genetics or some type of illness, there's nothing that you can do about it. But again, try your best to give your body a fighting chance against any and all life's tackles and effects on you. So it just helps you better.
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and Andrew,
Yeah.
for you, I know a lot of people are probably curious, especially with that tank top. You know, you're you're definitely ripped. You're in
I got
shape.
the spaghetti straps, bro. We're supposed to wear
I
spaghetti
know.
straps.
We got the memo. We thought you were joking. You clearly
No, no,
weren't.
we didn't get the memo. He just wanted to wear the wife's bra. It's like,
Yep, yep.
I
Um,
have it pulled down.
yeah, I love it.
but how did you get started on your fitness journey, and like what motivated you to obviously to now staying this consistent for so many years? Like I've known you for a long time, for 16 years, something like that. Like a long time, and you've always been in shape. You've always um looked not just like strong but healthy, right?
Yep.
And
I
like
love that.
what
Yeah.
motivated that?
Healthy.
How did you get there, and like what made you start on this like very consistent journey?
You know, it's so funny. I didn't even think about it until you actually mentioned it. I'm like, because you're doing a podcast, you don't really just think it's like, this is get on there. We got a game plan, but then you're not thinking about it. So my journey is actually a really good one. I think this is actually might be a good snippet. But what got me into working out was when I was about 16 years old. I went to a private school, right? A private school that everybody had to dress up. You know, those private Catholic schools, you all have to dress up and you
Uniform. Yeah.
yeah, everybody looked the same, and we used to get these dress down days, right? And it was like, dude, dress down day was like going to what you call the Met Gala or something like that. Like that was what it was for us. I was like, yo, this is the day to wear the nicest sneakers you got, the nicest shirt,
New York
show off
Fashion
to all
Week.
the ladies. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm like, you got the girls you like in the school. 16, like, can you
I
imagine
love it.
that? You're freaking wearing uniform all day, and this is your one opportunity in like 3 months or 4 months to look nice. I'm like, yo, And it was like the most coolest day because everybody was like, "Oh, look at it was literally like a show, like the Met Gala, right?" So, so that day, we have the dress down day, and I still remember like it was yesterday. I had these white uptowns. You remember the white uptowns? Those were the fire, like back in like when you're
Yeah,
20 years. That's when they first came out when they were
the
fire. I mean, now
OGs.
they're still fire. It was real fire.
Yeah,
And I have my
classics.
jeans. I have my wife beater, like the tank top, the white tank top, and then I had a yellow pleated shirt. I remember it like it was yesterday. Never forget, right? And then there was this girl that I really liked there, right? And I was like, dude, you know how it is. You're young, so we were all hanging out. I was there next to, near her, whatever it is. And then there was this other girl there, okay. And mind you, this other girl looks like Alien versus Predator. Like, so if you look at Alien, like picture like Alien in a girl version, that's exactly what she looked like. I won't say her name just in case she, God forbid, like somehow sees this podcast,
Damn.
right? But she was there, and of course, the girl that I was like looking at was obviously a very pretty girl. And then like I was not in the best shape. I wasn't in bad shape whatsoever. I was never fat. I was never like big, but I was never like in fit. I was just like whatever, like normal. And then in front of that girl, she was like, I have my tank top on. So, my tank top, it shows, your stomach, you can kind of see your build. And then
Mhm.
like in front of that other girl, because she knew I liked that other girl, she was like, ew, Andrew, you look fat, right? And then, people get laughing, whatever it is, and I was like, and I wasn't even fat. I really was not even fat, but it was just one of those like an embarrassing thing that happened to you, like right in front of the girl that you liked, right when you was a kid, like that was like the world crashing down. That was like almost as bad as those uh kissing on the kiss cam who were married or whatever it is. That whole big thing that happened like
Oh yeah,
last
yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah.
Those
Yeah, yeah.
two
The
CEOs.
Jumbotron. Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. The jumbotron and the freaking idiots going to a stadium. Like that's where you cheat. Like that's like the stupidest. Like I don't know. Doesn't even make any sense, right? You're right here, whatever. But the point is that like that's what happened. That's how it felt like to me. And I was like, dude, this is never going to happen again. No, I don't care what age I am. Nobody's ever gonna call me fat. Nobody's ever gonna say I'm not in shape. Nobody's ever gonna look at me and not be like, damn, that looks good because he takes care of himself. And it's just that little decision right there, that 16, I mean, I don't even know right now, almost 20 years ago now. Okay. And that's the reason why I'm still like, in shape because I'm like, I just can't ever like there's something in my mind that's embedded that like the second I feel I'm not in shape, I feel like she's gonna somehow pop up out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like that alien looking girl. Ew, look at you, you're fat. You know what I mean? Like so
The
that's
sleep
like that little trigger.
paralysis demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I was like, you know what? But I'm happy that that happened because that obviously led to all the changes that I made, which one of the biggest ones, in my opinion, when I was younger was fitness. That's what really got me into this whole world of self development and improvement and everything like that. So I needed that to happen for me to grow, but that literally wasn't what it was for me. And before I pass it back to you, actually, because you were mentioning it, like Sheila, you were like, "Oh yeah, I love that statement." You're like, "Should you be? Do you want to take care of your vitamins and take care of working out and getting fit, or do you want to be deciding which medications you're going to be on and what cane you're going to get, right?" And I know that because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm actually in insurance, right? So I work in the insurance field now. I actually, run a business in insurance. And I deal with this all the time, like on a daily basis. So, like, part of my script is like going through the client's list. And it's like, I don't ask them, listen, this is important for everybody to know. I don't ask them if they're taking any medications. And most of my clients, like most of the people I'm calling, they're, homeowners, all that stuff like that. They're probably like in their 40s, late 40s, mid 40s to like 70s. I don't ask them like I don't ask them if they're taking anything. I ask them what they're taking.
Mm.
Okay. Because all of them, bro, all of them are taking something. Okay, whether it's for high blood pressure, whether it's for diet, you will be surprised how many people have diabetes. It's actually insane. Like one of my insurance companies specifically came out with a new product that is affordable for people with diabetes because so many people have diabetes, and that's one of the things that keep you from getting a decent insurance price, right? It's crazy. So, yeah, definitely take care of your health. I mean, and to this day, where I'm still very, very adamant about taking the right things. Everybody should have a vitamin regimen. Everybody should, not be eating junk food. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't keep junk food in my house. If you go to my house right now, we used to have this in the we used to do a business before. But we used to have. Do you remember, Emil, when they were like, "Oh, if I ran to your house right now, and I was the cops or whatever it
Yeah.
is, would you be arrested for products and whatever it is, right?" So if I went to your house right now and I was like the food police, what am I gonna find in your house? Am I gonna find Doritos, Oreos, chips, Chips Ahoy? You won't find that in my house. I promise you right now. It's in my fridge. You're not gonna find that. You're never gonna find that because I never keep that in my house. Sometimes being fit has more to do with preventatives than it has to do with, you know, will. Because a lot of people they struggle, but it's because they're putting these things in front of their face. You know what I mean? They shouldn't even be there in the first place. So that's one of the ways that people can start, just don't have it in the house, you know?
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Yeah, it's so funny. I was just talking to my fiance. She bought Sour Patch Kids, like the really sour
Oh,
ones. I love those.
uh,
But I was like, why would you do this to me? Like this
your
is
kryptonite.
yeah, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting here like low key kind of tasting it because like I know it's in my house, and that's so bad.
Right.
But that's so true. And I actually just looked it up while you were talking about it. About 40 million people in the United States have diabetes. That is roughly 12% of the population. One in
I told you,
eight
bro.
people. That is
Yeah, bro.
insane. So one in eight
And
people.
that's 1 in 8 people. That's not even 1 in 8 adults. That's just 1 in 8 people.
People, yeah,
So
people.
the
Not.
majority of that is adults.
Mhm.
If you take
Yeah.
out from 0 to like 14, I mean, sorry, 0 to 40. So that
Yeah.
really means like 1 in every 4 person has diabetes, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know what? I will tell you, sugar isn't everything, bro. Like,
Yep.
why do you have to have sugar? You go to the store and buy dried fruits, and the freaking thing has like 15 grams of added sugar. Like, why do I need added sugar in dried fruits that already is sweet?
yeah,
Natural. Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah. It doesn't make
I
sense.
love I love that cliffhanger because I think that should springboard to the next topic of typically how like the health system kind of failed us. And I'm not saying that nobody individually shouldn't have like accountability because we're all adults, and and even if you're not, your parents should be the ones leading you and kind of steering you to the right paths. Because I love what E said, and I love what you said, A, that literally you are what you have around you. That's not necessarily just your network, your circle, your environment. It could literally be like the foods that you allow to be in your house, like small cracks like that. Just make it convenient. It's already convenient for them because all of these companies are franchises. They love to expand and grow and just be convenient anywhere, populating everywhere. And the biggest ones are fast foods, processed foods, quick grocery stores and stuff like that. So it sucks that slowly they moderate to help us. When a couple of years ago, and I know this is a fact for sure, they weren't even showing stats or calories on fast food menus at all.
Yeah,
So anything that
oh
you ate,
yeah, yeah.
you were just
It's
doing
just
it on your own. Yeah. And
I don't
now after
remember
that
seeing that
big
until
turnaround
recently.
having. Yep. And I love
I
that.
don't know if you guys
And,
remember, but I remember like going to McDonald's before like 10 years ago.
uh,
I don't see McDonald's, but going in there because we used to hang out there, people in our
of
business.
course. Free Wi-Fi,
Um,
of course.
yeah, exactly. But I don't remember ever seeing how much calories it had there. Do you guys? I don't remember seeing that.
yeah.
Nope. Nope.
2018, May 7th,
Yep.
2018 is when they started putting up calories. A
I hope you
federal
guys heard
federal
that. That is
requirement.
a reality check. No
Yeah,
pun
Yeah.
intended. That is insane.
So what do
Wow.
people do, right? So this is my thing, right? Because it is definitely not easy to be healthy. If you notice that, it's not healthy. I mean, it's not easy anymore. Before it was easy. Prices of food are roughly high. I mean, fast food is still high too, but the average person, they work 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. They're out during lunchtime. I mean, sorry, they're not home. So I can give you my. I'm going to say what I suggest, but I would love to hear what you guys suggest as well. Because if you're out all day, you're almost subjected to be eating fast food or outside food. You're the most common one is, let's say, Chipotle. People feel like I'm super healthy if I'm eating Chipotle. Chipotle is. I'm not saying that it's not healthy, but they're not exactly like They're not
Right.
sweet greens out here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which hopefully is healthy, right?
Yeah, no, it's healthier. That's the term I
Yeah.
always try to tell people. So if you're gonna take a loss, at least take a medium to small loss instead of
Yeah.
just a
Don't go
couple
straight
of
for the
things
don't go for the
like
Big Mac. You know.
Wendy's, Burger King, right, or McDonald's. Those are the holy trinities of the top processing companies. It's crazy.
But this is what I recommend people. I mean, the simplest is I don't know if you know, but there is these cookers, right? They have these cookers you can take with you, can put in your car that you could basically bring reheated food, okay? And you can bring it with you and you can reheat. If you don't have a microwave, you don't have access to any of that stuff. Because everybody has different types of work environments or whatever it is. But you should, if you don't already, it doesn't even take that long. You should take probably Sunday, whatever day you decide to prep or get ready for the week. On average, most people are doing it on Sunday. Everybody should be taking about 2-3 hours on a Sunday to prepare their meals for the week. It does not even take that long. If I can give you the simplest one to make, right? If you guys haven't even tried this, you should. It's really good. You can literally just get the clean one of the cleanest, easiest, healthiest meals is you can get a box of penne pasta, okay? Penne, sorry. Oh yeah, penne pasta, which basically is like chickpea, right? Sorry, chickpea pasta. You can get a box of chickpea pasta for like $2-3. Okay. You can buy 2 or 3 pounds, and my recommendation is 3 pounds of ground beef. Try to be as lean as possible. Okay. Let's say lean 80%, 85%, if not 90% ground beef. Buy whatever type of pasta sauce that you like. Okay. Put it all together. Okay, and you legitimately have a meal prep for like 4 or 5 days as a lunch. Now, it doesn't have to be the only thing, but then get a side of chicken breast, like a nice chicken breast spread, like 5-7 pounds of chicken breast. Cut it up and make it some strips. And there you go. You got chicken strips. Dude, you spend less than 30-40 bucks, you can have a nice lunch for the entire week, okay? And you find a way of making it portable. Listen, we live in the 21st century. Stop making the excuse of, oh, I don't have time to have food. Oh, where am I going to put my food? There's a million different little devices now that you can take on the go that keeps food cool, hot, or whatever, or reheats it, heats it, that you can easily take with you anywhere. And I don't care if you work in New York, you could take it with you in New York. You could take, New Yorkers almost don't have cars ever, right? But a lot of people here probably in New York too. But there's ways now. You got to take that time, like take that 2-3 hours. It could be in a weekday, whatever it is to, do it at nighttime. Besides watching Netflix all night or TV, take one day, 9 o'clock to 12 a.m. and meal prep. And everybody should be doing this because especially if you make food for the house, because there's two different things that happen for most people. They either get too lazy to make food or they get too busy. One of the two is going to happen for you.
Mhm.
Okay. And most families they don't cook. Most people don't know how to cook. So that's one of the easiest things you do. Put it in a pan, get some penne pasta or some chickpea pasta if you like it. Get some freaking ground beef. I tell you, I do that almost every week, by the way. Just so you know. Like I mean, the reason why I maintain my fitness and health is that's one of the main things that I eat. Like I'm very simple when it comes to eating. I don't make it too complicated. How about you guys?
Yeah, you're essentially eliminating the choices of bad foods, right? You're eliminating going to fast food because you're already prepped the food. You already have it ready. There's no
You're guaranteed
hesitation.
gonna get hungry. You're gonna get hungry,
Yeah,
Yep.
right? So what do you do when that? I feel like most people are not prepping themselves for this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance. All right, so
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
this is just proper preparation to prevent that poor performance of you not wanting to cook and then making the easy choice of being like, oh, it's fine, I'll just order food out, or the easy choice of, oh, it's fine, McDonald's is right there, right? I feel like at the end of the day, if you just make it easier for yourself, then it's ready. Like simple little things like in the morning, I leave first usually out of my house. So what I do is I take out whatever protein, I guess, whatever meat, whatever needs to be defrosted. I take that out in the morning, so that way I'm ready to cook if it's my night to cook, or my fiance already knows. Okay, like I want chicken, she'll make
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
happen, and then that way we're good to go. She doesn't like food stored throughout the week, We have an agreement, you know, so that she cooks for 2 3 days and that's it. Like that's max for her. She's like, okay, like no more after that for whatever reason. I'm like, all right, cool.
That's a big win. That's a
Yeah.
big win. Those small changes are always going to be considered big wins, and I love that. And I would
Yeah.
love to to piggyback off of what Andrew said. A lot of people overcomplicate it. It's not that difficult, and I know we probably live in the most technology technological, whatever that term is,
Oh,
Technological,
go ahead. You're
technological.
good.
technological, you're right, era in our life. So we have access to seeing a lot of stuff. People are scared because they're like, this guy is literally busting out a tiny scale. He's watching the weight of the chicken before he cooks it, and then I seen the rice that's wider than anybody I've ever seen. I don't want to eat like this. I feel like I'm a caveman. No, it doesn't have to be that harsh on you. Any tiny changes is a win in my book. A lot of people don't realize nowadays that we actually have the best era for ready to deliver programs and services. There's HelloFresh, Blue Apron, Cook Unity. No, these aren't sponsors. These are just the best alternatives that people have to literally get it by any means. Chipotle is not your only option. The 7-Eleven is not your only option. If you don't
Ava.
know how to cook, right? If you're
You guys
not a
have
fan of
Ava?
cooking, right? No, oh, I have. My wife put me onto it 2 days ago.
Ava's
I
good.
love it. I love it. It's so good. It's so I don't know about you guys, but I've been a big fan of like Mediterranean food recently. It's been like a triple A for me. It's very good. Yeah, they've been doing it for a while. I don't know why they didn't share it with us, but they were onto something for sure. Mediterranean food.
I was
Um,
gonna I was gonna say when you just to add to what you were mentioning, because that's an important point. A lot of people think that eating healthy is boring, right? And it's almost like working out,
yeah,
sometimes it's boring for people. It seems like a hard
repetitive.
curve. But it
Yeah.
does not have to be if you don't make it. Everything there's a healthy version of almost everything that you like. For example, I love burgers. I'm a big burger guy. Like burger and fries. Like I'm as American as it can be when it comes to that. Like I love me a good burger and fries. But I don't go to like a burger joint or somewhere to get it because they're making it wrong. You can literally take your own beef, flatten it, get your own bread. And yes, I'll do the brioche bread, whatever. That's my little treat, right? But if you want to be super healthy, you don't have to. But you're getting a clean burger that has only like 400 calories, bro, when you make it yourself. 400 or 500 calories in a nice clean burger, 90% freaking lean beef, put some cheese. I love barbecue sauce. That's why I'm another sucker for that barbecue sauce. Dude, there's 0% there's 0 calories barbecue sauce.
Yep.
I mean, sorry,
There's
zero
healthy
sugar,
alternatives to
zero
everything.
stuff. And it does taste good. Like I found the ones. If you guys need to know, just let me know. I got you, right? I make brownie. I love brownies, right? I make my own black bean brownies. Okay. Yes, black beans. Yes, you could take black beans. Like if you want to know, I can send you guys a recipe. It actually tastes so good. If you do it correctly, you will not
Lock them
know.
up. Lock them up.
Yes, you will not know that there's beans in this brown. It's a protein brownie, bro.
I love it. That's
Simple,
dope.
simple. I can literally tell you the ingredients right now. 1 can of black beans. Okay, literally 1 scoop of protein powder. If you can get the brownie flavor one, that'll be best. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice.
One
Nice.
cup of sorry, 1 cup. Yeah, 1 cup of cacao powder. Okay,
Mm.
cacao powder, clean. And a few other ingredients. Chocolate chips if you want that. You don't need the chocolate chips. One
Mm.
cup. I know it sounds like a lot, but 1 cup of maple syrup. Okay. Mix that all together. And if you like to make it a little bit thicker, you put some oats, like with ground oats. Mix it in a freaking pan. Put some what's it called? Baking powder. One fourth teaspoon of baking powder to make it fluff. Put a little bit of vinegar in it to make so the oxidation is correct, so it can fill up thick, like really thick. Mix it up and boom, you got a freaking really good brownie. I just ate that right before. So you can be creative. Just go online. How many freaking Instagram pages are there that have I'm sure you've seen it. Look
Yep.
at this roll off the top cinnamon bun.
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
made clean. It's made really well.
Yep.
It's made with good ingredients.
Yeah.
So no, just take the time, besides doom scrolling every night or doing
Yeah.
something, Netflix, take 20 minutes and take a look at one of those videos and follow the ingredients, or
Yeah.
go to a YouTube channel. It's not that difficult anymore.
No, yeah,
I
they're
don't think it's
simpler than
difficult
people
anymore.
make it. Yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely are.
So yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like half the recipes that we make is literally stuff that I just find on Instagram that I'm like, "Ooh, this looks really good." And it's already
Yeah,
somebody who's already like conscious of all these extra things, who already
right.
did the work for me, where I don't have to look up, what's the replacement for this ingredient or whatever. They already like listed it out. It's all there. It's the easiest time to eat healthy. It's the easiest time to find like fitness programs, that kind of thing. And also like what that was making me think of is that like when you start eating healthier, you start just mentally clearing up space, right? Like your brain just feels better, right? So it's not
Yeah,
just your body, it's your mental space too, so that the cloudiness goes away when you start eating cleaner, right? When you're not drinking sodas every day, right? Your memory improves, right? Like
yeah,
aspartame has been shown to you know promote memory loss, right? And
yeah, yeah.
there's a whole bunch of other bad
That's
things.
scientifically proven, by the way. Like
Yeah,
eating healthier will literally clear your mind, clear your digestive system, help your testosterone, all of those. Like it's scientifically proven. It's not just we're saying it out of our ASS. Like
yeah,
it's genuinely going to improve your overall functionality. It's insane.
yeah. So there's so many benefits to it. So like if somebody's not feeling great, right? Like they're starting to fall into depression or sadness or whatever it is, the first recommendation that pops into my head is always go to the gym, right? Like eat something healthy. Like all these things are just super common sense. And I feel like it's a failure of school systems. It's a failure of our health systems where we're not taught these basic things. But now is the age of this, like all this information. Like the information is out there, and I think it's just time to for people to start using it. Right, use the
Yeah,
information. Like realize that, like yeah, you should be eating healthier, and you will feel better. Right, you won't be as sad when you're working out in the gym. You will be more confident when continue going to the gym because now you've built this habit, right? You've proven to yourself that you could do something more than just slack off, right? Or make excuses like I am. um,
I'm done. It doesn't
right.
matter because you're still like fit, which is good. You know what I mean? Like that's what matters more than anything. To like, I actually wanted to just take a turn in this because I was like, okay, I was thinking, how can this be very useful for people who are watching this? Everybody here needs to know that fitness is the starting point of confidence, right? So if you're a man watching this, or even a woman, doesn't matter. But obviously, we're gearing mostly towards men. There is no stronger way for you as a guy to feel like a man than when you start going to the gym. It is like the first point that you have total control of to be able to prove your manliness, if that makes sense. If you're 17 years old, 18 years old, 19 years old, great time to get started in the gym if you haven't already. But that's just the place where you go. You go there, you start building yourself because now, especially starting the day out with it, not saying you have to go to the gym in the morning, but just knowing that every day you're doing that, it's a small win that now is building your confidence because let's transition to the topic of women, right? Because every guy wants a woman, at least straight guys, we don't talk, we can't talk about the other ones, right? But at least straight guys over here, they all are looking for women. And I find it funny how like some guys mentally they're like, man, women is hard, women are difficult, women are hard to come by, whatever it is. But I'm like, you're not even taking care of yourself, you know? You're not even you don't look good. They're not if I look at you, you look like you haven't been taking care of yourself. And of course, there could be a million of reasons why. I'm not here. But listen, can we all be on the same page here of not being sympathetic just for like a few minutes? Is that safe to say? Right?
oh,
Can we do that? So
Yeah.
that everything I say is not like, oh, but you're not sympathetic for the fish, or for the guy who has these problems, whatever. Listen, the truth be told is that, in my opinion, all men are sizing each other up, no matter what they do. We're all looking at each other. We're like, yeah, what up? All right, I see you. Like 2, 3 seconds, I look at you. I'm like, all right, you ain't going nowhere in life. You are going
It's
somewhere.
DNA. It's
You know,
genetics. Yeah.
that's genetics, right? We all do that. There's not a creature alive that doesn't do that, right? Whether you
Yep.
care about that or not, that's your thing. But I care about that. I'm sure you guys do too. We wouldn't even be doing this, right? So you should want to look good. You should start working on yourself because that's the beginning point of your confidence, of developing yourself, of getting women attracted to you as opposed to you always just out there looking, whether you're younger or older. I mean, I'm 35 right now, and most people still think I'm in my early 20s because of the way that I look. Okay. And most people are like, oh, yeah, there's another factor. We all have spouses, right? All of us are either married or about to be married, okay, and we still all look good, right? We all still take care of ourselves. Why is it that when people now get married or with a spouse, they think that's the opportunity to slack off and now like become looking like a slob? I'm like, that just affects you more than it affects anybody. Listen, I love my wife, but I don't look good because of her. I look good because of me. I take care of myself because of me. Does that make sense? Like, I don't care what she thinks. I still am gonna take care of myself. Like, do you think a wife is ever gonna say, "Hey, listen, you shouldn't take care of yourself. You're looking too nice." I've actually heard that happen before. Which that's I don't even know how that's crazy. I'm like, I don't even
No,
That's
that's
obvious.
that's a real thing. I think they were trying to push where it's like the dad bod is the new standard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For me, it's like if you're healthy, but where is this coming from? I think it's more of like people being like either two things. I don't want him to look too good for me, which that insecurity comes from the man or the woman and stuff like that. Or the other thing is I love him how he is, and it doesn't matter how he looks. What Andrew said is so good because it should always come from the self. Like whether you're married, single, whatever, you should always have that ambition and motivation to stay consistent for yourself. Because now, once you're able to pour into yourself, you can pour into everybody else. And you're not just walking. You're not just doing a talk to talk. You're doing a walk for walk as well. So I love that because like you said, we're all married, engaged. So I love the fact that I could do my thing without having to truly be influenced by her, and doing right by you will trickle into your family, your loved ones, and everything. A lot of people know I'm a personal trainer, know I'm a coach, but yet they still fear to reach out to me. Either one, they're insecure and they're scared of me knowing all their personal details, or two, they lack motivation and consistency even though they have all the resources and stuff like that. It literally has to the best thing is like you could lead a horse to water, right?
Yeah.
But you can't force it to drink. That's what I always tell people. You know what I do, you know who I am, you know where I am, but as long as I'm the only one that wants it as bad as you, then I don't think there's any progress that's going to be made. So it's very important. It's very important that you yourself always wants that hunger. And it's beautiful that it started for you at 18, 16. I don't know where the
All
health and
over the place,
wellness
man.
journey
All over the place.
where,
Yeah.
where it started for you, but it just has to start eventually, and it's never too late.
Hardcore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Basically,
I,
yeah.
I don't know when I
And
started doing
that
that
was
though.
amazing. Yeah,
That
no, it's
was
good.
like,
It gotta come from the self. I love that.
yeah, that was a long time ago. But yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, 100%. When you do it for yourself, then it's very easy to pour into others, like you said, and take care of
Yeah,
your health. It's very easy to be there for your family, to be there for your work, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because once
100%.
you start doing it for others, that's where it's going to be basically kind of like a task or a job, and you don't want it to start feeling like that. A lot of people are trying to get on the style of like fitness is a trend, fitness is an era. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you should be gearing to do this for the rest of your life,
Hmm.
from literally from when you were born. I think you probably maybe have like a good grace years of probably 5 years of where you could relax. Other than that, you should always try to stay consistent with getting steps, activities. Even our early lives helped us with that by incorporating stuff like recess. incorporating stuff like summer camp and everything like that. We were always meant to be moving and active. This whole lazy era, I'm gonna do it for only a summer. I'm gonna do it only for the winter so I could get ready for the summer. You should be doing it all year round. And you don't have to make it hard. Literally, small integral wins and gains every single day is all that you should be looking for. A lot of people try to oversimplify it. I gotta eat literally white rice and white chicken. No, and then I gotta work out from Monday to Saturday. No, just improve every single day from you. I have clients that literally work with me for just as little as 2 days a week to ones that are crazy to work with me 5 days a week, and they're all going at their own pace and they're all doing it for themselves. And yeah, they all have different goals. You just gotta want it, and you just gotta make it as simple and clean as you can. Small wins, literally small wins. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Andrew, like you were saying, it's definitely very beneficial, right? To get in shape, to take care of yourself, for yourself, but also it ends up trickling down into you getting a spouse, right? Or you having just higher chances of getting a spouse because that just makes sense, like biologically, mentally, like on every step of the way. Yeah.
I would just say if anybody is struggling getting, women or at least even dating, I mean, is incredibly difficult, in my opinion, to not find a spouse if you're all buffed up, have six-pack abs, and go to the gym 5 days a week. I just think it's almost impossible to not find a spouse unless you are like not looking for one. They'll come to you if anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Statistically, your chances increase. Absolutely.
yeah,
It might not be
yeah.
a
So
hundred percent success rate, but it's definitely better than what you had before. 100%. A
Yeah.
it's
hundred
not gonna
percent.
get you a wife, but it'll get you a
Yeah,
spouse. It'll get you
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
to
yeah,
wife is a whole nother topic, but
yeah.
like if you're a guy struggling with chicks, like, dude, just get yourself in shape. You eliminate that problem right away. And you have the best part is you have total control of that. You can choose how much you want to work out, what you want to do, all that good stuff. And another aspect I wanted to bring up about this before we finish it off is you being fit, just like what you said, Sheila, it's so important because I'm a big science guy, looking at studies and everything like that. The number one reason why people become shriveled and like, disabled and everything like that is because they lose a lot of muscle density. And what replaces it, I forgot what it's called. Don't quote me on it, but it gets replaced with something else, some other like whatever it is, that basically leads to a lot of the slowing of your muscles working, and it basically leads to a lot of like what do you call those things? Arthritises and all these other things that
Yep,
you get in your
yep.
body. Okay,
Health issues.
but
Yeah.
it's all because of the shriveling of the muscles. Because like they showed an example of a leg, and the leg had like 30% muscle and 70% of that other thing. Okay, and then they showed somebody with a leg that had 70% muscle, the opposite, and that other person was much more active. So muscle, having that muscle replaced is so much more important, especially as you age. Okay, I'm talking about people who are older, like not younger, because younger, you can do whatever for the most part. But when
Yeah.
you start hitting those 40s, 50s, 60s, and usually people are on, taking something because they're all bent out of shape, that's that time to do it. But I always say that, you know, if you are a person who's fit, just imagine as you start raising a family. If anybody, most of us here either have family or raising or about to have children or whatever it is, what type of example are you leaving for your family as the head of the household as a man? The first thing they're gonna do is that they're not gonna look at how much money you make because kids don't know that. Okay. I mean, like until they get a lot older, they're not gonna know. Oh yeah, daddy's rich or daddy's not. They don't know. Listen, I didn't even know. I thought I was rich when I was like young. Like I had a great life. I lived in the projects,
Oh
bro,
man,
and I
didn't
thought
we? If you had $20, you were on top of the world.
exactly, bro. I was like, dude, I had $5 to go buy candy. All right, and when candy
Yeah.
was like 10 cents, I was like, dude, I'm rich. Okay, people are
Yep.
not gonna pay attention to that. People are gonna pay attention to how you look, right? They're kids. And they see your habits. They see what you're doing. They're gonna watch you. And if you have a son, if he looks at you, do you want your son looking at another person, another man for an example of what to look like? You know, for me, that's my biggest thing. I'm like, dude, I don't want, like, I'm not saying that they can't look at anybody else, but if they do look at anybody else, it's not because I wasn't in shape. I wasn't taking care of myself. It's just because that was somebody they just wanted to look at. But I did not want somebody to, I didn't want my children to feel like they needed to look at somebody else to learn the right example, because that's the right example. If you're going to be raising a family, you need to be strong. You need to be fit. Forget about being in shape, about six packs.
Yeah.
That's not the
Yeah.
most important thing. It's just about being strong.
Capable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think as we grew up, we were in the era of like comic book superheroes and all that stuff. And probably one of the biggest compliments you could have is like you look like an athlete, you look like a superhero. It's not like daddy could fly or anything like that, but he's built like the guy that can. Like you just want those small intricate things, because I love what you said, Andrew, about like they're paying attention. They 100% are. Babies retain so much more better than us. That's why they're able to speak and know languages faster than we are as adults and stuff like that. Everything that you think that they're not paying attention to, your dynamic from your partner, spouse, your daily habits, how you eat, they're absorbing all of that. And
Mhm.
considering on genetically, if you didn't already give them bad genes from your mistakes and life choices, they're gonna make them from just seeing what you're doing now. So you gotta decide when to pick it up and like have a little snap of change, so that way you're doing everything that you can, so that way they could absorb that and follow suit. Not necessarily saying that, oh, I need you to be like this. No, they're gonna want to do it because they have a great example that's leading them. So I love that. I really do. Like that. That's so cool. If depending on if you have a daughter or a son, like
Oh yeah.
it's very
Like
healthy.
my daughter is 3 and she's like, Daddy, I want to go to the gym with you, you know?
Oh, I
And
love
she's
that.
honestly very fit. Like if you see my daughter, she's actually really fit. I'm like, dude, like I see her, we obviously change. I'm like, dude, how you have like six packs already? Like you're freaking fit,
That's,
you
that's
know?
because of you.
And she's already working
Yeah,
out. And she's already, she's not working out, but like she does
yeah.
everything. I've actually taken her to the gym before, like the clubhouse or whatever it is. And
I
she
love that.
lifted weights and stuff like that. She loves it because she
Yeah,
knows it's a part of my life. Like every day, she's almost like, "Oh yeah, when is Daddy going to the gym or whatever it is?" So she already wants to do that. So that example right there, if you don't have that, what are your kids gonna do? Like
yeah,
I don't want her on the iPad, or whatever it is. She doesn't have an iPad, but the point is that like, you're either gonna develop habits for them that are gonna be beneficial long term, and I don't know about you guys, but it literally hurts me so much when I see a family and they have fat kids. Like
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. It
yeah.
pisses me off so much. I'm like, you are such a freaking loser, bro. Like, you are giving your freaking kids trash food and they're fat, bro. Like, you're 5 years old. You should not be obese, fat at 5 years old. And then you see the parents, and they're obviously not in shape either. And I don't listen, I do not care if you're struggling financially. You still can eat good. Okay. You can
Yeah.
still eat, you can still choose pasta, ground beef, mix it up, make a nice meal,
Yeah.
besides going to McDonald's or besides going
Or
to
or
which
even
actually is more
the
expensive,
bean brownie, even the bean brownie. That's a
or bean brownies. Okay, freaking bean brownies. I could give you a
yeah,
million other things. Okay,
yeah,
but it
yeah,
just irks me because I'm like, you're literally setting up your children for disaster,
yeah,
and they're freaking 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, eating whatever they want, snacking. Listen, I don't know about you guys, but my daughter eats healthy like right now, like already. That's why
yeah,
she doesn't overeat. She barely eats sugar. You don't give her a lot of snacks. The snacks that she does have all are healthy. The same thing applies. And I just think and it helps with their brain development. Like if you met my daughter, you would know, damn, she's 3 years old. She can have a full conversation with you. She's very, very competent. She's not
that.
like I don't treat her like a 3-year-old because I can't, because she honestly is very advanced. She's already like 5 years old, 6 years old, and when it comes to her mentality and how much she understands. You know what helps with that? Well, one, obviously having us as parents, because we're obviously all forward thinking. But two is because we feed her well, we take care of her. Her mind and body is being taken care of properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I see, and I didn't think that because they're all my child. But I'm not saying this because she's my daughter. I'm saying this because I've met a lot of other 3-year-olds, and they are nowhere near to the level of my daughter. I was like, very rare have I met a kid who like is as competent as she is as 3 years old. If that makes sense, you
Yeah.
know.
No, that
And I'm like,
raising
yo,
in the household matters. Absolutely,
so
100% it does. It's
so I
scary.
think So I think families have to stop doing that. They have to stop, treating their kids like that, whatever, feeding them
Yeah,
whatever. So
yeah,
so wrong. So,
yeah. That reminds me of what you said. It was a couple podcasts ago, but you were talking about how even the lead up to um, a pregnancy, everything that you eat, everything that you do, the workouts or the non-workouts, right? All of that affects the baby before even the pregnancy starts. Forget during the pregnancy, that's also extremely important. All these little things.
Yep.
But I recently I saw a study speaking on this health thing, and they showed the difference between brains of people who work out, take care of themselves, don't drink, right? No alcohol. These are people who are trying to be as healthy as possible, and you could see like a nice full brain. And then this isn't like a full image, but like a I guess an interpretation of what it would look like. And then of
Hmm.
somebody who has poor diet, somebody who might work out, but like it's super rare. They're sedentary for the most part, and they're also drinking on top of that. And even one little drink of alcohol at the end of the night or a couple of times a week or something like that, right, makes a huge difference because their brains are literally shriveled up, right? Forget your body, forget all these things. You want to keep your mind, right? Why is there so many people who have all these mental problems, all these memory problems, right? Like all these Alzheimer's and those kind of diseases, right? That all stems from eating processed foods, right? Processed foods are things that have been through a process, right? This is not just a natural ingredient that's one or two ingredients. Processed food has 19 ingredients and you don't know what half of them mean, right?
Yeah.
you don't even know how to say them.
Yeah.
Literally encyclopedia. It's scary.
Yeah.
And that was already one problem. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, we're about to go
Oh yeah.
through a whole nother battle of lab grown meat.
Yep.
Oh my God,
Would you
yeah.
ever decide to have a lab grown baby, a lab grown wife, a lab grown house? That makes
Yeah.
absolutely no sense. So why are we accepting this in this era, lab grown meat? Like these are scary times.
I already
So
told you that Bill Gates is trying to kill us all, bro. That's his number one goal.
it's crazy.
He is tasked with lowering the population.
Yeah,
He has a universal task, and that's it. Like
yeah.
he cannot even be indicted or like that.
Yeah,
No,
like
They're
no, yeah.
trying to.
it is
And
insane.
I'm pretty sure there's definitely nations and governments that are supporting them,
He's
and we're
approved already. You know that, right?
oh,
And he's
of
he's
course,
approved in places like
of
Sprouts. Like
of
Sprouts is
course.
like Whole Foods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tyson is one of the leading people that are about to start ruling it out. And right now, I think they said Burger King and McDonald's are going to start it. And by the time 2028 comes, I think over half the food interest industry will be picking up on it. It's crazy now. Imagine, fellas, that we have to go to a restaurant and be like, yeah, is this from outside or is this from a lab? Like, I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared that we really have to think about asking these type of questions just to eat something that God made. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's literally insane.
Before we go further, I wanted to backtrack, mentioning what I believe you said that, Emil, but yes, it is very true. I even looked it up. Like fitness does affect the quality of your sperm, and it also
Mm-hmm.
affects
Yeah, yeah.
the ability of the baby's development while it's in the belly of the wife, okay? Or the spouse or whatever it is, right? The point is that, you know, you should actually be working out before you decide to have kids. Because if you just slacking and chilling and then you just pop one out, I'm not saying, nothing is going to be bad, but, you know, if you know you actually have a role to play, because most men don't think they have a role to play. They're like, oh, yeah, I just do my thing and then the woman takes care of it. I'm like, no, you actually have a role to play. You're pregnant. I always tell men, you are pregnant 9 months before you get her pregnant. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that you take care of yourself for those 9 months before you impregnate her, that's going to help determine the quality of child that you have. Okay. So
Yeah. It's so funny. I feel like we all went through the same case study. That's one thing I do love about social media. It just gives you the information, whether it's true or not. Always do your own research. And when I did a deep dive, I was like, my whole life is a lie. Because this whole time you're thinking that, oh, you do like Andrew said, you do one job, you're out of there, and then the wife takes over. No, literally, statistically, you should be detoxing, cleaning, and fixing your system 6 to 9 months prior to having a kid, because your sperm matters. The quality of it matters because you're about to pass on any and all good or bad genetic traits that you might have picked up to where your parents already gave you. And I'm a firm advocate for this. I don't mind saying it. I picked up bad traits from my parents. Like Andrew was saying at the beginning, a lot of people are going through diabetes and blood pressure and this or that. I picked those up from my parents. This year, when I really, not this year, sorry, this life, when I really started taking fitness serious again, other than having my college degree for it, was when I found out that I was pre-diabetic. And
Mm,
I've literally have a background of athleticism, of fitness and all of that. So how did I get pre-diabetic? It was already preconceived from my parents that made it already easier for me to be acceptable for these things. So back then people were like, well, I never had to do. Okay, yes, you never had to do it back then, but there was no fast food processing, lab grown meats, all of these illnesses that are bringing up inconveniences and sicknesses to the world. It was easier. The food was cleaner. It was simpler. Everybody was walking. I think you just had to pay for a taxi or a bus, and that was it. There was no Uber Eats to where now the food comes to you and you don't even have to do the work of driving anymore. It was way, way, way simpler back then. So a lot of people like to complain about that. I hate that I have to do more. You have to. You have to. If you don't change with the times, it will literally kill you. And I'm
yep.
not even saying that metaphorically, literally, it will kill you. And it sucks. If we could have lived 20, 40, 50 years ago, having a kid would have been easy as 1 to 3. Now we literally have to go through a whole, what a fitness montage or
Yeah.
a health journey just to make sure that we can have kids. We're not saying that you can't, but if you want your kids and yourself to have the best chances, this is the best course of action to do as being a man in this day age. And it's very, very unfortunate, but I love it because it's kind of like a wake-up call for us
Mm,
that we really need to take these things into consideration. I've seen a lot of people doing it, and I love that. It was like, yeah, we're planning. If it happens, it happens. That's all in God's will if things go right or wrong. But if you could have a say into it, do the best that you can as a man or a woman to prepare for those things. Because if I'm pre-diabetic, then that's gonna make my kids pre-diabetic. My parents were diabetic, so thank God it didn't like truly pass on to me. But I'm not pre-diabetic anymore. I got rid of it. Health and wellness literally changes that, and it's not just the habits of what you're doing outside of the gym. You got to make sure that what happens behind closed doors is so crucial. We're gonna slip up from time to time. We're humans, but try your best to get at on average 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Try your best on average to get 6 to 8 cups of water a day. Try your best on average to get 100 grams, if not more, protein every day. You just got to do your job, and the more you do it, the easier it is. The more it's second nature. It's just gonna be way better. You don't even have to think about it. Muscle memory is just gonna kick in automatically. So I think we're doing great. I think we're doing great, and hopefully the message could get passed on to everybody else, so that way they could do great as well.
yeah, for sure.
But I'll definitely say that water has been my biggest struggle, to be honest with you. I'm like,
Yeah,
6 cups of water, 8 cups of water. I don't remember if I ever done that, to be honest with you. I'm
I
not gonna lie. Like that's like I
I,
think this cup is still from earlier today, you know?
I was just gonna say
I
you
gotta
still
work.
catching up.
I'm catching up. I'm not
I
gonna lie.
love it.
Not sponsored, but these are wild bombs. Sorry.
Hey,
yeah.
let's go, let's go.
These
I'm
are really
literally
good.
the
This
opposite.
next right, this next podcast we'll have some sponsorship. I put it in the
I
air. I
think
love
so.
it.
I think we can wrap it up with one topic that I think is super huge right now, uh, about fitness whatsoever is the whole thing about peptides, the whole thing
Mm,
about steroids and TRT and Tron and you
Mm,
know what like I would just say from me personally, I have heard too many stories, and I'm not saying specifically one or the other, but
Mhm.
what, in my opinion, when it comes to fitness, you should not need to get to any of those points, at least while you're young, right? And like I'm meeting 21-year-olds who are taking like TRT and Tron. I'm like, you're 20, bro. You produce more than this stuff than you're whatever. You know what I mean? What do you mean you taking this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. And and I'm sure you've seen this shit because you're in this industry. How many of people have you seen influencers die in their like 20s, 30s, super young, and they are so fit and so taken care of, and they look like perfect, but they're dying when they're young. And it's because they're messing around with a lot of these things. I'm not saying peptides will kill you. I heard that one's pretty safe for the most part. But
Mhm.
there's a lot of other substances, and realistically, you really shouldn't be touching that. In my opinion, I'm not injecting anything into my body. Okay, like I know that TRT or testosterone, you got to freaking inject that into your stomach or something like
Yep.
that. I don't know if you know that, but that's how you have to do it. I'm
Yeah.
not freaking
No.
injecting
Some
nothing,
people do
bro.
it on their chest. Some people do it on their arms. Some people are even extreme to where they have to do it on their glutes. Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
All I
It's
know is that
extreme.
I'm not injecting anything. Okay, I
Yeah.
have never done any of these things, steroids, and I have not done anything. And I think call it genetics or whatever it is, but I think I look fine. I'm doing fine. I'm not injecting nothing. I'm not taking anything weird. I want to live a long time more than I want to look good. Okay. And I really think that unless you know what the hell you're doing, you really should steer away from messing with any of those things because we're just gonna. I have a feeling we're gonna find out 5, 10 years from now that 80% of these things that these people are trying are really bad for you.
Yeah.
Really, you got something bad happen, just like these vaccines that we just found out from you know Mr. Fauci, who
Yeah.
made who everybody finds
Mr. Plead the Fifth. That's what we
Mr.
call him.
Plead the Fifth over here. You find out later that you were convinced, and had to do because somebody forced you to do it, or you got shot or fired or something like that. I don't know about you, but if I mentioned that online. I'm like, if you were forced to do it or you got fired, you kind of should already know that that's a bad thing. It's just kind of like it should make sense. I would happily get fired from any position as opposed to taking a premeditated that they put together in 3 weeks vaccine. Okay,
Yeah.
into my freaking body, for goodness
Yeah.
sakes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But the whole point is that
Yeah.
you really shouldn't be putting stuff in your body if you don't know what the freak it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I will tell you your formula right now. Simple. Eat a lot of food. Take your whey proteins. Whey protein is good. It's fine. Okay. And take some creatine. Okay.
Mm.
Every day, 5 milligrams to 10 milligrams of creatine today. Those three things, you do it correctly. Don't have junk food in your house. Okay. And work out at least 4 days a week. Listen, do you have to count? Listen, just like you said, Sheeler, I will be the first one to tell you I have, and this is no exaggeration, I've never counted macros. I've never counted micros or whatever you call them. I've never focused on how much protein I take every single day. I've never done anything. I don't track anything. And when I go to the gym, I do whatever I want. I have no schedule, no agenda, nothing. I
No
go there, I'm like,
split. Yeah. You're just
you
being
call that
active.
crazy?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's stupid, but it's stupid that works for me. And I look better than 95% of these people who have perfect schedules and formulas and, you know, weight scalers. Okay. Because the number one thing is consistency. I'm consistent at everything. That's what matters more than everything else. If you're consistent, you're good. Don't take any of these, injections. I think all that, and you'd be good to go. What about you? What are your parting words for all this? And then, of course, Emil will wrap it up.
Yeah, no, for me definitely is again, I guess I could spin back about like you knowing yourself of what you're capable of, what you're able to do. I genuinely hate and despise that the youth aren't letting their bodies do what they're naturally meant to do. You got men taking steroids and grown-up supplements to try to speed and rush their progress. You got women doing fillers, injections, BBLs, and enhancements to speed up the process. You do not reach your peak until you about I looked this up. For males, it is 25 to 35. That is when you have peak testosterone and cortisol and all of that processing through your
Damn,
body.
I'm at the tail end. I better.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not gonna stop for you because you already past the threshold to stay in that consistent habit. So you're set. But for people that haven't, they have between those 10 years to get it together. Those are the best times to do it. And then for women, it's from, I think, 15 to 25. So you really need to trust yourself, give yourself time, and just have patience that it's going to happen naturally. And if it doesn't, then go to people that have done it, heed their advice. And it sucks that we're in a technological world to where we're being influenced from good and bad people. Because there's no way this kid decided to take these steroids at his young age by himself. No, he had a idol or someone that he looks up to, and they're vocalizing it. And most of them they're probably even being sponsored. So
Yeah.
you're not even getting a legit testimony. So this person's not even looking to give it to you for the betterment of his opinion. He's just getting paid for it, and it sucks. It really sucks. I want to literally just try to tell people to be patient, be mindful, and give yourself time. Trust the process. That's literally my motto for my business. Trust the process. And if it doesn't happen, then that's unfortunate. And don't hold yourself to beating yourselves up and stuff like that. Just let time do its course first before
Can I
going to the
just say one
extreme.
thing before Emil wraps it up?
Yeah, yeah.
One of the biggest things that you really should not do is drink. Period. Right? Drinking. I'm not saying I don't drink. Listen, I drink here and there. All right. I'm not like freaking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm perfect and I'm celibate, or I'm like
Yeah,
freaking.
yeah, yeah.
Don't drink
Email,
ever. No,
what was in that? What was in that cup? I saw you drinking something.
Oh, this is water, dog.
this is
This
water.
is I could
Right.
prove it,
Oh,
dog.
okay, okay.
I could
But I'm
prove it.
saying,
Okay? I have water bottles that are empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
what I was saying is that alcohol will definitely slow the development of your muscles, big
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
Okay. One average glass, I don't care what anybody says, one glass a week is more than enough to slow your entire process. You will never get to peak performance. Like I went a very good amount of time without drinking. I remember I went a period of like 10 years almost without drinking. And I don't drink like that. Listen, I have one drink every 2, 3 months or something like that. It's like, it's okay. And small like that is whatever. But if you're drinking every weekend, if you're drinking 2 or 3 times a week, don't ever expect to look like in peak top shape. It will never happen, no matter how much you go to the gym. People, because I get people ask me almost all the time, how you get like that? How you get like that? I said, I don't drink, bro. Stop drinking. You know,
Yeah.
get a beer, 2 beers, 3 beers. Dude, you're just killing your whole week. Like you worked out for 5 hours and now you drank 3 beers. You just killed the whole thing, bro. You know, you spent
Yeah.
5 hours in that week working out and 3 beers on the weekend just undid everything you did for the week.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you do it again and again and again. We live in a day and age that you can get non-alcoholic beer, non-alcoholic buzzes. Find another alternative. I tried kava
Mocktails.
once.
Yep.
You ever heard of kava and kratom, whatever? That's another thing you could try. It's like a tea bar. You actually might like that
Hmm.
meal. It's like a tea type of bar.
Okay.
Look it up. It's regulated, but it's like you'll still get a buzz, almost like you're drunk, but like it's not drinks. Look it up. It's called kava. Kava. It's not terrible. It's not good either. I tried it once. Not my thing. Whatever. I mean, I'll
It's
try
a
this.
healthy alternative. That's
Yeah,
literally
try to find
that's the thing.
alternatives. But the
Yep.
physical alcohol, listen, there- I know it's funny. If anybody's seen Lilo and Stitch, what's it called? The actual live action movie, he was like, there was like, oh yeah, they're just drinking poisonous drinks that make them feel good or whatever it is. Alcohol is literally just poison.
Yeah.
It actually is poison. Like, just look it up. Alcohol is poison for your body, period.
Yep.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I'm okay with letting some poison in here and there if I want to feel good.
Of
Okay.
course.
And
You
if you
you
want to
earned it.
too, that's totally fine.
Of
I
course.
have the
Yeah.
choice of doing that.
Yeah.
But
And
you need
you
to
earned it.
understand that
Of course.
it's really going to affect you if you're drinking poison every week, every time. It's going to affect you from being fit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it's going to help, it's going to have a lot of bad, consequences down the line, not just fitness. So, if that's one thing I can say, definitely get that out. Cut that
Yeah.
out if you want to be fit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 100%. No, I love what you guys said. I don't have too much to add on to that, but yeah, there's studies for all these things, right? Like
Yeah.
I've heard it in many different podcasts of people talking about all this stuff, right? The same exact stuff that you guys said about drinking, right?
Yeah.
About eating healthier, exercising, like all these things are just super important. But I think this is just one of many podcasts. I'm definitely excited to have the next one with the three of us for sure. I think we had a good time. We'll definitely put links to Sheeler's social media as well at the bottom of the podcast and on our
you want to
socials
get
as
some
well.
training from him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, sir.
100%.
If you're in the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut.
Yeah, there you go. Boom. But yeah, anyways, we had a good time. Please click all the buttons. We appreciate the support, and share this with a brother that might actually appreciate, some of this info. But yeah, peace, guys.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Peace
Joe.
out.
That was good.
That was
Yeah.
great.